If you've ever wondered what your personality type is, you've probably already taken a personality test. Now there are a lot of personality questionnaires and tests available online, but the Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator is probably the most popular personality test in the world. A personality test can tell you a lot about the things that make up who you are at your core. Personality is something that people talk about and judge informally every day. People often talk about different parts of a person's personality when they talk to each other. Do you want to learn more about yourself? If so, keep on watching this video as we're going to explore old and current theories of personality and help you understand yourself. But before we start, please share the love and subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you're the first one to our new videos. What is a personality test? A personality test is any one of a set of standardized tests that are made to measure personality accurately and consistently. It's just a way to figure out what kind of person someone is. Most personality tests are made up of self-report questionnaires that ask people to think about themselves and their lives. Most of the time, personality tests are used to figure out what a person's perceived strengths and weaknesses are so that they can focus on building up their strengths and minimizing or getting rid of their weaknesses. 4 types of personality by Myers. A study from the Carlos Iowa University of Madrid found that 90% of people can be grouped into 4 types of behavior: optimistic, pessimistic, trusting, and envious. People are either hopeful, pessimistic, trustworthy, or jealous. Envy is the most common of the 4 types, with 30% compared to 20% for each of the other groups. Unlike the Myers-Briggs, this theory is based on an old idea called the 4 humors. The 4 temperament theory is a more common and well-known way to explain personality types. A theory from the early days of psychology that says there are 4 basic types of people: sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic. These were linked to the control of different biological processes. These temperaments show up most clearly in children between the ages of 6 and 14. After that, they become less important, in most cases. Sanguine, optimistic, active, and social. Sanguines are usually more outgoing and like to be around other people. People with a sanguine personality tend to be very talkative, enthusiastic, active, and social. People with this kind of personality find it hard to do nothing and tend to take more risks. Choleric, short-tempered, fast, or irritable. People with more choleric tend to be more outgoing. People say that they are independent, sure of themselves, goal-oriented, and ambitious. Their strong personalities and focus on getting things done make them natural leaders. In the past, people thought they were violent, angry, and short-tempered. Melancholic, analytical, wise, and quiet. People who are melancholic tend to be detail-oriented and good at analyzing things. They'd also tend to think and feel deeply. They are shy and don't like being the center of attention. People with a melancholy personality are self-reliant, thoughtful, and quiet, and they often feel anxious because they want to be perfect. Phlegmatic, relaxed, and peaceful. People with phlegm are usually calm, peaceful, quiet, and easygoing. They care about other people, but they try to hide how they feel. People who are phlegmatic are also good at making deals and generalizing ideas or problems to the whole world. Origin of the Myers-Briggs personality tests. Myers-Briggs's mother, Catherine Cook Briggs, started studying personality in 1917. She developed a typology where she proposed 4 temperaments: meditative, spontaneous, executive, and social. Isabel Briggs Myers continued her mother's work on typology and eventually took it over completely. During World War II, Briggs and Myers made the MBTI. They did this because they thought that knowing about personality preferences would help women who were entering the industrial workforce for the first time figure out what jobs would be best for them. Socionic's theory. Socionics is a theory in psychology and sociology about how people process information and what kind of person they are. It is known for its information model of the mind. Socionics is based on the idea that information can be intuitively divided into 8 groups, called information aspects, which are processed by the mind using 8 psychological functions. The goal of Socionics is to find a way to predict how people will get along with each other and how well they will work together in business, share information, and understand each other before they join a group. Socionics is extroversion, E, sensing, S, thinking, T, judging, J, introversion, I, intuition, N, feeling, F, perception, P. Socionics divides people into 16 different types, called sociotypes. Now we're going to take a look at each of them separately through the lens of the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. The man in charge, IST personality. ISTJs look serious, proper, and formal, which can make them seem scary. They are well educated and care a lot about tradition. On the other hand, they are usually quiet and calm. Because they pay close attention to details, they are called inspectors. ISTJ people always follow the rules and use logic to reach their goals and finish their projects. Their main cognitive function is introverted sensing, which helps them notice details about their surroundings. Their secondary cognitive function is extroverted thinking, which helps them think in a logical way and solve problems quickly. They are very loyal to their friends and family members in their relationships. Most of the time, they like spending time with a small group of people. The ISTJ is good at jobs that need logic, structure, and stability. The counselor, Enfj personality. INFJs are dreamers who see the world in a different way. They like to think about things and won't take things at face value. People might think they are strange because of how they look at life. INFJs are idealists who love to figure out how things work. They are quiet leaders who are often creative because they get ideas easily. The INFJ is also known as the diplomat because they prefer to work with the other people on their team instead of fighting with them. An INFJ's main way of thinking is introverted intuition, which helps them focus on their own insights and usually affects how they make decisions. Their third cognitive function is an extroverted feeling, which makes them very sensitive to how other people feel. This is what people mean when they say they are empathetic. The INFJ thrives in jobs that require a deal of compassion, psychology, and/or collaboration. The mastermind, INTJ personality. INTJs are quiet people who don't mind being alone. They wouldn't hang out with other people because it drains their energy. They excel at developing plans and strategies. This personality type is strategic and creative because they use analysis to solve problems. Their dominant cognitive function is introverted intuition, which they use to read between the lines and unravel patterns. The secondary function is extroverted thinking, which helps them think carefully about problems and be very organized. Also known as the architects, the INTJ thrives in jobs that require logical systems and innovative solutions. They usually prefer to work alone. In relationships, they are loyal and are great at encouraging their partners. The donor, ENFJ. ENFJs are individuals who are people-centered. They rely mostly on their intuition and feelings, and they tend to live through their imagination. They focus on abstracts and what could happen in the future. They care a lot about people in general, not just their close friends and family. The ENFJ generally loves feedback, and they can be referred to as people pleasers. Their dominant cognitive function is an extroverted feeling that helps them be in tune with other people's feelings. Their auxiliary functions are introverted intuition that makes them focus on the future as opposed to the present moment. They do best in jobs where they can help other people improve and grow. This also includes humanitarian-focused jobs. In relationships, they are supportive and always willing to understand their partners. The Craftsman, ISTP. ISTPs are mysterious, rational, and highly logical bunch. They are spontaneous and unpredictable most times, albeit oblivious to those around them because they are experts at hiding their true nature. Their main way of thinking is inwardly, which makes them focus on the logical parts of a situation. The ISTP's auxiliary cognitive function is extroverted sensing, which helps them focus on abstract things. They do well in jobs that need both technical skills and physical activity. In relationships, they are calm lovers who like to help out around the house. The provider, ESFJ. Most people think of ESFJs as extroverts, but this isn't always true. They are cheerleaders and make everyone around them feel better, which makes them popular. People like them because they are friendly and easy to get along with. Their main way of thinking is to feel outgoing, which makes them work and make decisions based on how they feel. The ESFJ's auxiliary cognitive function is introverted sensing, which helps them focus on the present instead of the future or other abstract details. They do well in jobs that require them to follow steps and work with other people. They are the traditional partners in relationships who like structure and stability. The Idealist, INFP. Most INFPs are quiet and reserved. Most of the time, they spend time alone in quiet places. They love to look at signs and symbols and figure out what they mean so they can explain what's going on around them. Their dominant cognitive function is introverted feeling, which helps them with processing emotions internally. The INFP auxiliary cognitive function is the extroverted intuition that helps them focus on the big picture through imagination. They thrive in jobs that require visions and aligns with their goals/interests. In relationships, people take time to choose their friends, and they value compromise a lot. The performer, ESFP. ESFPs are mostly perceived to be entertainers. They like being the center of attention. They enjoy exploring and learning to share what they've learned with others through their strong interpersonal skills. Their dominant cognitive function is extroverted sensing, which helps them stick to facts instead of abstract ideas. Introverted feeling is the ESFP's secondary cognitive function, and it helps them make decisions. They do best in jobs where they can be flexible and move around a lot, and where they can use their artistic skills. When it comes to relationships, the ESFP will put their family and loved ones ahead of everything else, but they can also dislike structure very much. The champion, Enfp. ENFPs are highly individualistic and refuse to live their lives inside a box. They strive to create their own methods of doing things. They make decisions based on how they feel and are very perceptive and thoughtful. Their dominant cognitive function is extroverted intuition, which allows them to focus on abstract thoughts and patterns. The auxiliary cognitive function is introverted feelings, which make them focus on their feelings rather than logic. When in a relationship, the ENFP is always open and expressive with affection. They also do well in jobs that require creativity and new ideas. The door, ESTP. ESTPs are governed by the need to interact with others. They are interested in abstracts and theories. They are spontaneous and risk-taking. They don't worry about making mistakes because they learn as they go. Extroverted sensing is their main way of thinking, which makes them action-oriented. The auxiliary cognitive function of an ESTP is introverted thinking, which makes them highly disciplined and very observant. They do well in jobs that require mechanical skills, flexibility, and a lot of surprises. In relationships, they can be very daring and like to do things with the people they care about. The supervisor, ESTJ. ESTJs are driven by their desire to do what is right and acceptable by society. They are the best example of a person who is on the right path to doing what is good and right. They're glad to be able to help. When compared to other personality types, they are very practical because extroverted thinking is their main way of thinking. The auxiliary cognitive functions are introverted sensing, which makes them very keen on details and stability. The ESTJs like to work in management positions where they can oversee operations and set up structures. In relationships, they like to stick to routines, and their partners know they can always count on them. The commander, ENTJ. NTJs try to deal with everything in a logical and rational way. They are naturally born leaders who command respect. Also, they like being in charge. They see obstacles as challenges in which they can prove themselves. Their main way of thinking is extroverted, which makes them think carefully about orders and decisions. The auxiliary function is introverted intuition, which makes them trust their instincts during decision-making. The ENTJ thrives in jobs that are complex and require clear strategies for goals. In relationships, they can set high expectations for their loved ones and can be sometimes domineering. The thinker, INTP. Most people know INTPs for their great ideas and plans. They see a pattern in everything and can easily pick out something that's out of place. They are concerned with finding an environment where their creative genius can be harnessed. Their dominant cognitive functions is introverted thinking, which makes them highly understanding and deep thinkers. The auxiliary functions are extroverted intuition, which helps with their imagination and ideas. The INTP thrives in work environments that aren't focused on traditions. They like to work in ways that give them freedom and flexibility. In relationships, they are highly unconventional and autonomous. The nurturer, ISFJ. ISFJs are highly generous and ever ready to give back to society. They are warm and kind-hearted individuals. They possess an awareness and consideration towards bringing out the best in others. The dominant cognitive function is introverted sensing, which makes them very detail-oriented. Their auxiliary functions are extroverted feeling, which makes them nurturing and very considerate. They thrive in jobs that require structure and are positioned behind the scenes. In relationships, the ISFJ will take care of their loved ones unconditionally. The visionary, ENTP. NTPs are extroverts who do not enjoy small talk. These personalities are very rare to come across. They approach discussions and or arguments in a way that makes sense. They know a lot, but they need to be challenged all the time. Their dominant cognitive function is extroverted intuition, which makes them always open to exploring new ideas. Their secondary function is thinking inwardly, which makes them very logical. They do best in jobs that challenge their creativity. The ENTP is spontaneous and can be very exciting in a relationship. The composer, ISFP. ISFPs on the outside seem like introverts, but deep down they're warm and very friendly. They do things on the spot and are fun to be with. They are always out to explore new things and discover new experiences. Their dominant cognitive function is introverted feeling, which makes them caring. The auxiliary functions are extroverted sensing, which makes them appreciate works of art. ISFPs prefer to work independently away from the spotlight. They are flexible and easy to get along with in relationships. That was it for today. Please share the love and subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you're the first one to our new video.